And we're live.
Yeah, I mean, it's gnarly, dude. Like being in different places, especially like some of those places were heavy, like the river, the spots where I had to surf in the river, kind of like gnarly areas. They're not what I'm used to. You know, it's a lot of them were pretty like poverty stricken, I guess you would call it. Like when I surfed in Kentucky, it was like trailers on the riverbed, like trash everywhere, like gnarly looking people. Like, dude, I was sketched out. So like my anxiety and my adrenaline's just going up and down the whole time, and I'm surfing in, you know, the dirty. It's just like
dipping around and not drinking water.
I went to Kentucky, and like you say, people living in trailers. That was the high class people. In Harlem, Kentucky, there are people living in tree houses, unfinished tree houses. Yeah, true. And they didn't have windows. They just had plastic where a window would go. Like they had aspirations of having a window someday, but no windows.
Did they
just
build
clear plastic.
This is a town of 1,700 people.
Harlem, Kentucky. It's famous. Brad Paisley made a song about it.
Gotta look it up. Do they build the tree houses?
Yeah, clearly. These were not professionally built tree houses as far as I could tell, but they were like square and they just didn't have any, like maybe a tree is cheaper than a foundation. I don't know. But
wow. The median income for a household in the city was $17,270.
In Harlem?
Median income for a family is $29,000.
Dude, we met a guy who owned like a pizza joint of some sort, like a pizza parlor, and he was so excited because he just got approved for food stamps. And he's like, we're going to take off through the roof. It's going to go big. As soon as we get food stamps in here, that's the currency of Harlem, Kentucky. It was huge.
Oh, I bet he was. He was probably genuinely psyched. Where he's like, so many of these fuckers come in, eat our pizza, and then go to pay with a food stamp. And I have to go, oh, well, now I've lost pizza and I can't take your food stamp. And so now at least he gets some money. That's good.
Nice.
There are wealthy parts of Kentucky, like the racing horse parts of Kentucky. Like you'll drive through, there'll be these massive swaths of land, and the property there is extremely expensive. But like you said, you know, there are definitely those poverty-stricken, inbred parts. West Virginia is the worst.
It's weird. Where those river waves are, it just seems like they're really gnarly areas. I don't know why. And West Virginia, yeah, like you're saying, like I would drive through and it'd be like really poor, and then I would hit a road and make like a weird left, and there would just be like super nice mountain cabins, like shit you see in movies. Really
the ugliest people I've ever seen in my life were in West Virginia, like per capita. I remember we stopped in this town in West Virginia.
I thought you were going to go Boston there.
Oh, I was talking to my dad about this the other day, and the Boston joke came up right after this. Like West Virginia is #1 for ugly people, not just ugly women, ugly people. There is inbreeding going on in the small towns of West Virginia, and how could it not? There's a population so small, you're gonna fuck a few cousins, right? It's just gonna happen.
It's the risk you take.
It's gonna happen. I mean, risk. I mean, you're looking for a cousin. That's less inbreeding than just going random.
It's the mathematical assurance that you take.
Yeah, uncle brothers and shit like that. So we were in this town, like we went up to a mountaintop to meet this like crazy guy who like wrote a bunch of the reloading manuals, and he had this 20mm sniper rifle, and we hung out with him, shot a sniper rifle, and then we left, and we go to the only town nearby that had a Walmart because we needed like some duct tape and shit. And we're in Walmart, like looking around, and I was like, guys, I just kind of noticed, is it just me or is everyone here like kind of deformed in one way or another? Like their noses aren't shaped right. Look at these people. Look at them. And they were like, yeah, I did notice there's some ugly motherfuckers in here. And we started looking, and everybody was a 3 or lower on a scale of 1 to 2. There were no 4s in this West Virginia town. And I was like, you know, I'm really hungry. I wonder if there's anything here to eat other than like Burger King, McDonald's. Sure enough, there's a steak restaurant just over across the road from Walmart. I'm like, I guarantee we go into that nice steak restaurant, they're going to have a pretty waitress, because that, you know, or a hostess or something like that. Those bitches were so snaggle-toothed and greasy-haired. That just nasty fucking women in West Virginia. And the men too. Everybody there was pot bellies, like 4 teeth in their head, greasy hair, just inbred bitches everywhere. It was disgusting. And of course, Boston is the second ugliest place for women. And my joke that I always retell whenever it comes up, I say, what do you call an attractive woman in Boston? And Joe is like, what? A tourist. A tourist. This
is the strategy, right? Like forever you've been thinking, oh, hypothetical single Woody goes to Sweden, scores all these. No, go to West Virginia where I'm a king. That's where that's where it's
that
at.
fella's got both his eyes. All right. He got out of an automobile on the way in here.
Oh God! I would nut noosing out of his ears. La dee da! Somebody washes. Yeah,
hey, I saw him open his wallet. He's got a tenner in there.
Yeah, I feel like we can mock West Virginians for the same reason we can mock midgets and Native Americans. They don't listen. They don't have internet there.
Yeah, and West Virginians are mostly white, and you're allowed to make fun of white people for anything as much as
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, especially white trash white people.
You think West Virginian white people, even if they are a big fan, are going to do anything but laugh if they hear this? They'll just be like, well, they're making some good points. There are a lot of ugly girls around here.
They know it's true. They know it's true. I wonder if you grew up with like I feel like if you grew up with uglier women, like maybe. But remember that documentary we watched with the Indian tribes and how all the women were just really fugly looking, and
wait, the Indian tribes?
Yeah, those Indonesian tribes.
Yeah, when the two British guys or Australian guys, whatever, went and they lived with them. Yeah.
Yeah, like those guys just had a much lower standard for what was acceptable in a female. I feel like we're spoiled by the internet and the world. Like you get on Reddit and there's just all of these 10s and 11s just constantly naked on your feed. But if we lived in a small West Virginian town, I mean, shit, if she's got most of her teeth, we're just rock hard. We're just all over that.
Yeah, and like you have to think from the other side, like because all those like women in that village were a little fugly. All the men were a little fugly too in that village because you guarantee there's at least some inbreeding going on. Yeah, there's definitely some. Even when they're like, oh, we traded people to each other's tribes. It's like, yeah, but are you really? It's not like one of you's in Seattle and the other one's in Boston. Like you guys are 95 yards apart. Like you go say hi all the time. Like, but you got to think that all those women in the tribe, like when those two tall British or whatever guys showed up, they had to be like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. That is a good looking man. How tall is he? Taller than 5'5"? Like, wow. Like, he must have had nutrition. He didn't eat bugs out of a rotten log for celebrations.
I like the part when they were like, have you seen Mark and Ollie's penises? They are enormous.
They must have had full nutrition all throughout their childhood.
Oh, that's right. And they had those like unicorn horns that they put on the penises, and they like didn't fit properly.
Yeah, they didn't have a dick gourd big enough for Mark and Ollie's dicks.
You're not supposed to put your dick in a gourd anyway. Like if you were, be honest with me,
Kyle. Who's being
and
judgy?
Woody, everybody, I'm being judgy about that fucking
Ben, weigh
tribe
in
that
on
puts
this.
your dick in a gourd. Nonsense. If you were at that tribe and they were like, all right, you want to be part of the gang? Go cram your dick into this dried gourd and then come out in a leafy skirt and dance around. Would you agree, or would you be like, honestly, can I just go naked with just the skirt and my dick hanging out? That's the better move, because you guarantee you're gonna draw some heads, right? And you're gonna probably get some tribe pussy that night, and probably with multiple of them. Or no, you can't, because then they'll accuse you of being a witch and they'll kill you.
You probably get more chicks if you use the gourd, because that's their deal. They're into the gourd.
Oh, they're into novelty.
What if you show up with a giant gourd and a regular sized dick? It's like a rhinoceros horn.
Just a pumpkin. Just a pumpkin strapped on.
Gourd for sure.
I would not. That's like the Frank.
It's the push-up bra of the Native Indian tribe world or something.
Native Indonesians.
Is that it?
I would be so afraid to fuck one of those chicks. Like, is malaria an STD? Can you get it that way? Because if so, you're dead.
Can you get malaria
The bigger question is: has Ben naturally developed a like vaccine for it?
Well, he's all good. He's all good. I remember.
Can you only get malaria from a mosquito?
I'm sure, like you can get it from a malaria-infected person, right?
Malaria is not spread from person to person like a cold or the flu, and it cannot be sexually transmitted. You cannot get malaria from casual contact.
All right, well, fuck those malaria bitches. All right. Get on it.
And a good thing about that is you don't have to commit to any kind of future.
Yeah, she's gonna be all shivery, like it's.
Share the blanket.
A life expectancy joke.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Well, she's got malaria.
Let's have a nice summer fling. After this, I'll go on. But for you, it's a summer fling. Or the rest of your life. Yeah. It's good to be in a place where malaria isn't a thing.
Yeah, I wonder what Tinder's like there.
Oh, if there's two people with cell phones. Damn it, and we are related. What the luck? Yeah.
You just keep going around to the same three girls over and over till you swipe. Ah.